Welcome back to talk about the 50 Plus Activity Center. We have in the studio now the president, who happens to be Tom Beach, as well as we are going to be talking about one particular activity that is happening. And Eileen Quinn is here with us. She's the lead on Aging Out Loud. Firstly, though, Tom, would you tell our viewers what is 50 Plus Activity Center?
Okay, some people might know it by Shepherd's Welcome Center.
Yes.
So we incorporated in 1980, been going quite a while. And it changed its name about 2018 to Brockville 50 Plus Activity Center, partially because people felt it was becoming too much of a club rather than an and it's a charitable organization, so open to all. So changing the name, also we're housed in Wall Street United Church. That's part of the roots for where we began. Got a great working relationship with them, so we'll be staying there for quite a while. But we now have activities in 5 different areas. We've got 57 activities going, maybe 56 at this point. It does change.
Yes.
Quite dramatic. Over 700 people, probably close to 750 applied this last term. Applications are closed right now, but they open February 1st again for anything that we have open for activities. Okay. Some are not yet full, some are full pretty quickly.
Yes, some do, some do.
And it's a wide range. We've got our physical activities like pickleball and table tennis and badminton, and then we've got some of the arts, painting, mosaics, things like that. We've got Spanish, French, sign language, and Dutch conversation, so quite a bit on that area. And music, not banjo? Ukulele.
Ukulele, okay.
Ukulele, yes. And guitar and an open mic type situation as well, the music jam. So quite a few, and I'm sure I've forgotten. Oh, and then the special activities. Well, we also got mahjong and euchre and bridge, photography. Yes. Don't expect me to remember all 56.
I don't. You did very well, though. You did very, very well in telling us what the center does offer. And okay, so Eileen, what is Aging Out Loud? What is it?
Well, Aging Out Loud is kind of a hope for the best, prepare for the rest approach to getting older.
Okay.
As we prepare ourselves for transitions that may lie ahead, we want to take a look at what does our community have to support us in Brockville when we have an amazing array of services. But what can we do to prepare ourselves and the people closest to us to deal with those changes that may be there for us? So we look at everything from sort of those key determinants of how you're going to do as you get older, which are things like your social connection and your financial well-being, your health and your independence. And our format is we have some presentations, and we do some personal reflection exercises and small group discussions. So that's the out loud part. Someone's recently sent me an email saying, I think I have the aging part down, but I'd like to do the out loud. So, and it is important, the out loud, because we're there to support each other. We have a lot of knowledge already, and we're sharing that and giving each other a lot of good ideas about how to adapt in areas like transportation, like housing. What do we need to think about if we're going to stay in our own homes as long as possible? What kind of adaptations can we make? Or if we're going to make a move, what the considerations are for that, if we're going to move back in with family or have family move with us, or seek a supported living environment or whatever. So, that kind of an area. Or transportation. When are we going to know that, we're going to adapt our driving, of course, as we need to, as we change. But when are we going to know when it's time maybe to consider something besides driving ourselves around, and what's available for us? So a lot of different areas we can look at, and we're just trying to build our confidence as we age and have more knowledge of what's available there. And maybe one of the most important things from my perspective is actually taking real steps and making a plan and doing something about it. Because if you're like the rest of us, we all
We
go,
put it
oh
off.
yeah, I know, yeah, I know I need to do this.
Yes.
Yeah, powers of attorney.
Right.
Yeah, whatever. But we don't.
That's
we
true.
don't actually take the next step. And my hope very much with this group was that we would start to take those little steps and make it a habit to make changes as we go, instead of getting caught out at the last minute where you go, oh no, what's happening here? And how am I going to deal with, when everything comes together as a crisis? We don't want that.
No. You want to be able to, if there is a crisis, be able to have some things in place and be able to deal with what is happening at that time.
Right, and we want to live our lives as fully as possible. We take a really positive approach to what's there to keep us. So it's not, although we're looking at some pretty serious stuff down the road too. We consider understanding if we are going to face life-changing diagnoses, if we're going to be in roles as caregivers, understanding how our healthcare system might support us in that.
That's a big one.
And not support us in that.
Yes.
And so what we need to, sort of looking for that mix of what's publicly available, what can we do on our own with our own resources, and those resources sometimes are social as much as they are, say, financial, to keep ourselves independent and fully alive.
So is there like a maximum as far as the number of people that come together as a group, or is it just wide open?
This time around, I think we said about 48 people. It has to do with our space, and how many sort of small group arrangements we could have. When you get a group that large, you're not trying to talk as a group as a whole. Doesn't really work. So we break down into small groups.
Good.
But we're partly we're partly defined by the space we're using and those resources available to us. But
Okay. So the program is running right now?
It's beginning 2 days from now.
2 days from
yes,
now?
on Friday. And this will be the second time we've done it. It's about 14 weeks long. And we're learning as we go as well. Tom graciously was part of the first group we ran in the fall. He was one of the guinea pigs. And we had lots of opportunities for feedback.
Yes, very good feedback on stuff. A couple of things that came out. The one that struck me was people are really strong. I want to keep my independence.
Yes.
But they think independence means doing everything at my own home by myself, driving by myself, all of that. No, independence is making the decision before somebody makes it for you.
Or
and
making
that came
the
across
decision.
several times.
And making the decision and having someone else help you out with it.
Exactly.
You're still making the decision, right?
Yep, that's it. That's the independence.
One of the really interesting little things, Doreen, is that from a number of people who took it in the first course, their partners, their spouses are taking it the second time around, which, I see that as a great sign. Somebody went home and said, this is really interesting. We both need to be getting ourselves sorted out on this and get on the same page. So I consider that really high praise.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
That is. So what the other thing that will be interesting from your first group is to find out how many people actually did follow through and make a plan and know where they're going. So you'll get feedback eventually.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things, a little technique we use in our groups is a sort of way to support each other, maybe to hold each other accountable a little bit.
Yes.
By often at the start of a session, we'll spend a few minutes in our small groups talking about, anybody do anything about this stuff since the last time we met on the areas we've looked at before? Which is, we're not policing each other or anything, but it's a great way to go,
I meant to do that.
Yeah, I meant to do that, and I will do that. Yes. And I'm inspired by you doing that, so I'm going to take a step as well.
Okay, Tom, you mentioned something about the beginning of February. Is that when you are going to put out a notice or whatever, or people can sign up for those particular activities that are not full yet?
Yes, February 1st, it's opening up again.
Okay.
We're website-based for applications.
Okay.
Just with the numbers that we've got, we run totally on volunteers. We don't have any staff. So when the volunteers are doing the work, you try and reduce it as much as you can.
Yes.
And we've finally gone to more of an electronic system, which is really helpful. So
nice.
It's open. It'll be on the website February 1st for the activities that still have space.
So if there happens to be yours just happens to be one of those that could use some more.
Well, there is space.
There is
for
space?
a couple more
Okay,
people.
good.
Now,
Okay.
now that because it reopens in a couple of weeks,
Yes.
we'll have to. People who join, they'll be coming in a couple of weeks after we've started.
Right.
But we'll support them in coming up to
Oh, yeah.
speed
Yeah,
on
yeah,
what
yeah,
we've
yeah.
already
Yeah.
covered.
Right.
It is kind of cumulative. One piece builds on another. But
Right.
we'll
And
make
if it's,
sure they're.
it's as similar with some of the language and the music programs. If somebody comes in too late, they're too far behind. So,
Right,
you know,
right,
come
yes.
within the first couple of weeks maybe. And some actually run almost like a 2-semester system.
Mm-hmm.
So they start in September, and then there's a second semester. So if you haven't been part of September,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to catch up for the next one.
Very understandable. Thank you both for coming in today, sitting down
welcome.
with me. I'm so excited about the center. I just love it. I just absolutely love it. Thank you.
great.
Thank you.